Former Cal, now Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza is poised to be a top 10 pick in the 2026 draft. So let's break down his film from a year ago, and I'll show you why this is a star on the rise. Let's go. What is going on, everybody? It's Luke here in the Jets film room, and we're back with another All-22 breakdown, and I am excited about today's video. We're going to have a look at the Cal 2024 film for Fernando Mendoza because he's been all over Jets Twitter, and this is a really exciting quarterback prospect. There's three key areas I want to look at, and then also a weakness as well. But when we're going through this breakdown, I want you to remember, this is film from a year ago. This is the base we're building off, not the finished product. The first area, and it's the biggest strength for Mendoza's game, is his ball placement. And I said this on Twitter the other day. Ball placement is more than just accuracy, than completion percentage. It is the correct shoulder, the right location, allowing yards after the catch. He has it in spades. Great example here. You're going to see Mendoza out of shotgun, fire this back shoulder ball, left-hand side of your screen, location, location, location. It is perfect. I mean, allowing his receiver to go up and get this football. There is no way the defensive back can make a play on this football. A gorgeous completion, and he's got ample arm strength from the far hash. He can rip the football. He has got a cannon for an arm, and this is just a great example to start today's video of how accurate he is and how good that ball placement is. But as I mentioned, there are a plethora of examples on Mendoza's tape. Here's another great one from the same game. I want you to have a look at the ease that he lets this go, the flick of the wrist. And once again, only one guy is catching this football, and it's the Cal receiver. Puts it in a great spot, always leads him to the correct side. Make sure it's away from the leverage of the defensive back, and he makes it look so easy. This time with a little more touch, not so much of a line drive. He has all the tricks when it comes to arm strength and different layers of throws across the field. This one's fun. Now, let's take a little stroll down memory lane towards Zach Wilson's pro day. I'm sorry, but have a look at this throw. You want to talk about the fake rollout. We're going to throw the deep cross. We're going to park it, and we're going to fire it to the opposite side of the field. A huge 55-yard throw. But again, you could not walk down the field 55 yards and hand this in a better spot for your wide receiver. I mean, just incredible location for Mendoza. It's just all over the tape. He throws a pretty deep ball. This one is pushed way down the field, and he makes it look so easy. This isn't a max effort, everything you've got throw. This is just nice footwork, great base, and 55 air yards for a huge Cal completion. But it wasn't just the deep ball, it was to all levels of the field. In the red zone here, Mendoza just shows off that accuracy. You're going to see off the snap, there's pressure coming from his right-hand side through the B gap. Doesn't matter. Fire it in there for a strike. I'm going to freeze it for you at the catch point again because, oh boy, that is so impressive. Mendoza knows exactly where to put the football. The receiver catches it in stride, extended arms away from the defender. They are the things you want to see. Plenty of arm strength. Zip that ball in there. The tightest windows on the field in the NFL are in the red zone. This kid's going to have no issues at all. That's beautiful. And you're going to see it here from the slot. Mendoza hanging in there in the pocket, finds his man. And again, just look at the ball placement, guys. You don't have to do anything as a receiver other than finish your route, extend your arms, and make a catch away from your body. He is so consistent. There weren't these misses, these flat out terrible inaccurate throws. It was just dime after dime from Fernando Mendoza. Let's circle back to the game against FSU because Cal only put up 9 points, but Mendoza was incredible. This is why you need to watch the All-22. Does a really nice job here, letting the crossing route clear. And once again, just look where he fires in this ball. Not great job from the receiver, catching the ball away from his frame, sticky hands, but Mendoza throws such a catchable football, and every single time, you know where that ball's going to be, and it makes life so much easier for the receivers. I like the patience. He doesn't have to look anyone off, wait till he clears the zone, and put it in the right spot. And now this is a good transition to my next point. Coming off the shadows of his own end zone. Look at Mendoza just on the run a little bit. Split the field in half and zip this ball against zone coverage. Tight window. defenders closing in zone, eyes in the backfield. That's just shot past the ear of the defensive back. I mean, just whistled in there past his helmet. Really impressive throw. The arm strength's there, but the accuracy and more importantly, the ball placement, that's what jumped off the tape. Let's transition now to the second segment, and that's this narrative that Fernando Mendoza is a statue. He is Kirk Cousins in the pocket, he can't move around, he has no athleticism. I thought he made some ridiculously impressive plays outside of structure at Cal. Great one to start us off. Here he is, in the gun, look at Mendoza, nothing open, shuffles forward, and just fires a ball off one leg. Now, I'm not saying this is elite athleticism, this is Lamar Jackson, but he remains a passer, he keeps his eyes downfield, he can throw off platform, and he's got heaps of velo to hit his receiver between the numbers. This is the kind of play you want to see. I don't need you to scramble and be a runner. If you can keep your eyes downfield, there's going to be more chunk plays available. He can make these kind of plays with different arm angles. Really nice job. Now, sometimes Mendoza kind of held the ball a little bit long. He'd find himself in these kind of situations, shrug off a guy, get outside the pocket, and just zip it in there for a completion to your tight end. This is not a statue. You're not even seeing a guy like Matt Ryan or Jared Goff make this kind of play. He's a better caliber of athlete than those guys. This is some big boy, 6'5" strength. You can see, just gets absorbed, get off me, shrugs him off, and then gets outside and keeps his eyes downfield. There's no panic. There's no concern. He doesn't look frantic for Mendoza outside the pocket. He looks natural. This is the kind of athleticism he will need. Is he going to live here in the NFL? No, but he's got plenty of ability. But he also showed me that he could roll right, make a guy miss, and make these kind of plays. Off the snap, look at the left tackle just get destroyed here by the 4-tech. Mendoza makes two guys miss, rolls to his right, and hooks up with his tight end for another big first down. This is NFL functional mobility and athleticism that is going to play on Sundays. Again, I'm not saying he's Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen or Lamar out of structure, but he's got plenty of ability to do this, and he is no statue. Look at this. Two guys. Whoop! Away he goes. Really nice job from Fernando Mendoza. And another example I loved here. Freeze it at the end. We have not put the defensive end in a good enough bind. Our little flat throw is not open. Mendoza, zoop, just jumps inside, fires the ball down the sideline. It's a huge gain for Cal. He has a really nice feel. He can make a guy miss in space. Really nice playmaking ability, a little bit outside of structure. This is the stuff that got me excited for Mendoza. But he can also do it as a runner. Now again, I'm not saying you're going to run 15 RPOs from a game, but when you need to, he can do this kind of stuff. Break a sack, get out, make a guy miss at the second level, and turn it into a huge down. He'll always put his head down and try and get that extra yard. He's a tough football player. But I haven't seen Kirk Cousins do a ton of this. I don't know if you have. I don't like that comp. I think he's like Kirk off the field, but he's got a little bit of juice and wiggle when he gets out in the open field. Again, another great example. A ton of shotgun snaps last year for him against Cal. I love this for Mendoza because he wants to be a passer first, slides up in the muddy pocket, and then no one's open, that internal clock goes off, and he is out of there. Does a nice job getting down here, sliding, but he's a guy who's going to be a passer first and then a rusher as a last resort. I thought he did a really good job understanding when to go, when time had elapsed, and even though he took quite a lot of sacks, I thought a lot of that was because Cal had put him in pretty poor positions as an offense. And the last thing that really jumped off the tape when I watched Mendoza at Cal, again remembering this is a year out from his draft, is that he was always on time, he knew where to go with the football, and he was very smart and got it out quickly. Against cover 2, he understands tight end in motion, he's got leverage here against the hook zone, just get it out quickly, let him turn upfield, and you've got 10 yards and a first down. Don't sit there unsure of where to go with the football. Don't overread the defense, trust what you see, and does a really nice job here, turning a very simple pitch and catch into a first down. Again, reading zone, I thought he was really good at it. Gets the ball here from the end zone angle, waits for that guy to hook in between the two. He sits down between the linebackers, and Mendoza splits them with a strike. Does a nice job just kind of looking him off with the eyes. We're going to try and send 21 to the right-hand side of our screen and zip that ball back inside. Tons of that. Smart football player, really good insider structure with this kind of stay ahead of the chains football. But then pre-snap, also understood when man was there, especially isolated on the backside, that's where we're going to attack. Mendoza here, look at the right-hand side of your screen. We've got a slant, one-on-one against some cushion, hits his guy. Again, look at the location, going back to my first point. He's just throwing strikes out on the football field. Really nice play from Mendoza. He just got it. More of the same. This time we're going to get a bit of a pre-snap alert. You can see left-hand side of your screen, we've got this sight adjust quick out. Mendoza sees it's the right option, hits him, and let's take 5 yards. It's an extension of the running game. When you see this, you know it's the right place to go with the football, and it's going to be a guaranteed little chunk to stay ahead of the chains and second and manageable every single time. Again, this time you're going to see it from the slot, bottom of your screen. Going to run this little option, hits him beautifully in stride, turn upfield, we've got a first down. That was on third down. He makes it look really easy. His decision making is crisp, and as I said, that football 9 times out of 10 is on time for Fernando Mendoza. I really liked that play. But you can also do these kind of things where you wait for the whip route, you hit him, and again, give your guy the best opportunity to make yards after catch. He just understood what the offense was asking of him, and it's only going to get more impressive when you put on the Indiana tape and some of the stuff we've seen against Oregon and against Michigan State. But now let's get to what was for me the big issue with Mendoza's film in 2024. At times, he did not see zone defenders over the middle of the field. Great example against Wake Forest. He thinks on this third down it should be wide open. He doesn't see the safety closing, and we've got a huge interception that we can't have in the NFL. We have to understand that that safety is off. He is closing in this cover 3. Look, and we can't throw the football there. He's a little late, but more than that, it's just not seeing that picture particularly clearly. Now again, remember, this is the 2024 version of Fernando Mendoza. This is not the finished product. This is not what you're drafting. I just wanted to give you a picture of what it looked like a year ago. This one against Syracuse, this was by far the worst game that I graded for Mendoza. He had some real issues in the first quarter. Another example of him just seeing the picture incorrectly. He thinks this linebacker, who I've circled right here for you, is going to carry in a Tampa 2 type look. He doesn't. He sits and squats, and that should be an interception. You have to make sure that he's doing what you think. You can't make assumptions in the NFL. This is not a good decision or throw from Mendoza. He's locked into his receiver. He doesn't see what the linebacker is doing, and that's a big mistake. Different this time, we're going to have man coverage. This safety is going to scream across the field against the running back and kind of just gets in the way. This isn't a huge glaring mistake, but again, it just feels like he needs a little more clarity between the hashes or on these middle type concepts. He doesn't see that the safety is so far out on his man coverage that it's going to actually interfere on the little hook route. Just need to do a little bit better. And one more example, going back to the Syracuse game that I mentioned earlier, you're going to see out of empty, Mendoza throws a pretty bad interception to the linebacker. Now, for me, part of this is scheme. You're going to see from the back angle here, Mendoza's eyes go left. Now, freeze at the top of his drop. There's no one there to confuse this linebacker who makes the interception. He has eyes, as you can see here, on the guy running into his zone, and he just reads Mendoza as he comes across the field. I think this is a schematic issue more than anything with Cal's offense, but I'd still like to see Mendoza understand this isn't on, even eat it for a sack, rather than throw a big interception over the middle. So there is my 6-game All-22 breakdown of Fernando Mendoza. Even before he went to Indiana and he's got all of this Heisman buzz, I loved the foundation. The ability to throw with outstanding ball placement and accuracy. The fact that he can make plays outside of structure despite what people are saying online. He's really quick to get rid of the football. He is decisive. He just needs to clean up some of the mistakes. You're going to see he already has. And I can't wait to watch the 2025 tape with you guys soon.